Hi, Chris.
Hey,
COVID, Chris.
welcome to the show,
COVID,
Jake.
COVID, Chris.
Yeah, we've got a COVID I don't know, a cautionary COVID tale today. So we're not broadcasting live directly from the parlor. We're virtual today, but Jake's on somebody's back porch somewhere, right?
My back porch. I'm calling in from the old folks' home.
And I'm here in the enclave of entrepreneurship, my office. But it's been a few weeks since we've had a show. Well, what have you been up to?
I don't know. I have no idea. Traveling. I'm traveling, man. Why haven't we had a show?
Yeah. But
what was last week?
So, traveling in the new normal? Last week, you were somewhere last week,
right.
weren't you?
I was in Vegas
Coast.
last week. And then I was at your house Monday night for about 35 seconds. And then I turned around and went home. What were you doing?
This was after you asked me to move it to Thursday.
Well, that wasn't official. We didn't make an official move.
Have we had anything official here? Well, have you been watching? Watching the Olympics while they're on? No.
No.
Why not?
I'm just really not interested in any of it, any of them, any of it. I don't know. It's on the other side of the world. Like, I'm not going to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning watching it. It's not like you can watch it the old days on prime time, watching Caitlyn Jenner run and throw stuff. Those were the days. I don't see any Wheaties spots on this group of people.
But Caitlyn could compete right now, right? Caitlyn could compete with the women, right?
I mean, I said that before. I wish that they would. I wish there was I wish all of that.
Well,
yeah.
Funny you say that. They are competing, which is really the reason for this episode. The timeliness of it. I mean, here we are, the Olympics, the fortnight of the Olympics, right? It's usually a couple weeks of the Summer Olympic Games, and I have deemed it the Woke-O-Lympics because everything is about being woke and all different special interest groups and everything else, and not about the athletics and about the competition and everything else. As a matter of fact, they're pretty much throwing the competition out of it and making it strictly about being woke. And so the name Woke-O-Lympics comes from.
Is that COVID? Was that a COVID
What's
cough?
that?
Was that a COVID cough?
No, that's a lambda cough. I'm way ahead. Okay. My variant's way ahead of everybody else. I'm at Zeta.
You're already on the Amazon variant?
Yeah, I'm on Zeta.
Yeah. We got Amazon variant coming. We got Apple. I mean, it's basically they're just selling naming rights to this thing. So, I mean, Corona, give them credit, man. They jumped all over it. And then Delta was like, what the heck? Oh, yeah. We might as well throw some money in the hat here. So then you got Amazon and Apple. You got all these companies that are going to jump right in there. Coca-Cola Corona.
You would think
Coca-Cola.
You would think you'd think that a pharmaceutical company would get involved in it, right? But these companies like I suppose Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson & Johnson, even if it's free, right, that the vaccine's free to the public, they're getting their money somewhere, right? Who's paying for that?
We are. The healthcare.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting reimbursed no matter what, right? The laughing, you don't
mention a couple of things
before the show.
Thanks. The interruption is different when I do it from here versus where like sitting next to you. And you must love it that you're like just like front and center screen there. Like
I'm out there and I'm loving every minute of it.
Having to share the screen with somebody else. So I was watching Shark Week. It was on a few weeks ago, and I started to think, like, I was starting to feel bad for a mother of a hammerhead shark, because that's got to hurt during the birthing process. What a weird looking animal that is, the hammerhead shark.
And it doesn't use it as like, does it use its head as like a device to like knock stuff in the ground? I
would think, like, if you're building some of these like underground castles and stuff like that, they're like, hey, go get the hammerhead shark. We need somebody to bang this in over here. Boom, 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 boom.
Slide this rock over a little bit.
Wedge them in. So that was my first thing. And then here's my other one. You ready? Why is... So you have the word and, right? And they create a symbol to, I guess, save time, right? The ampersand. Why is it such a long word for a symbol that saves like 2 letters? Ampersand.
Is it called ampersand or ampersand?
Well, it's either one. They're both acceptable.
But how do they get and out of that?
I have no idea. Who's kind of deciding this?
Isn't that the General Mills logo too?
Yeah.
Isn't that their?
It's either that or the G clef. They're like twins separated at birth. I think I already used that.
G clef, is that when somebody has a lip that's cut?
No.
G clef lip?
No, it's the thing in a music, like a musical. G clef. The G clef. The thing that looks like an ampersand sign with a line through it. All right, you ready? What about when people have aggressive support animals, like a pit bull, for example, that they're like labeled as a support animal? I've seen this.
Well, you know there should be a word for that. You've already come up with it.
Gypnipidus? Oh, that's aggressive. Yeah.
Aggressive.
How can you have an aggressive... How can you have a support animal that could basically at any moment kill you? That doesn't seem right. Doesn't that seem to be kind of on the other side of, like, it should be like one of my little peekapoos or something like that. That's a support animal.
What kind of... Well, and the thing is, what kind of support do they provide? Like, you got all sorts of supporting dogs, right?
I just think they should be classified.
Or people like
they should have to go through a different approval rating. Like, if you got a pit bull, you'd be like, all right, wait, we gotta run this thing through some tests here. This doesn't make sense to me. Or like an alligator.
Well, don't they just put like a little vest on, like a little Indian guy's vest on it, and say, "Hey, sport animal." Like, oh, okay. There's no governing body for that, is there?
No. I think people can make their own support vest. That works. All right, you ready?
I'm gonna have like a support person, and I'm just gonna give them a vest, and hey, this person come to Vegas with me? Well, sir, they don't have it. Yeah, but they're my support person. Like, if I get a midget, can I get a support midget?
I mean, if you fly on, like, Frontier, can you put them in the overhead and not pay? Or, like, if you can stick them under the seat in front of you, is that an extra charge?
Well, I think if I fly Frontier, I have the option to duct tape them down to the seat, right?
little shawl over them. I get 2 more here. One, I'm gonna switch these because I think this one, the one I was gonna do next, could lead into what you have going on. Because obviously I'm not prepared. I have no idea what you have in here. So I was following a car the other day, and it had a sticker on it that said "Meow." Right, and I started thinking, I'm like, there's, like, for just about every animal, we have a defined spelling for what they sound like meow, woof, oink. Mm-hmm. Like, where did it become universal that cats say meow? Like, there's no other word for meow or cat, what cats say, right? Is there like a governing body for that? Where they sat down and they said, all right, listen, we got this list of animals. This is the approved word that describes what they sound like when they speak. Rough? Oh, you got woof.
Well, look at, I think it had to come from Fisher-Price, right? When you had that toy and you pulled the little string on it and it went, the cow goes moo. So somebody had to write that down.
When do you think people started saying the cats say meow? When Fisher-Price did it? Like in the 60s? Like, what did they say that a cat said back in 1872? Did they even care what cats sounded like or said?
I don't think so. And I guarantee you back in 1872, they didn't, no one said, you heard no human ever say, I don't have children, but I have furry babies. Our babies are four-legged. Nobody said that. And if they did, they would be like burned at the stake. Well, maybe not in 1872, but, you know.
Yeah. Chinese people didn't say, they said burned at the wok. All right, so this is my last one. This is a thing that I saw, and this might have to do with, and you might actually have it in your presentation here. It had to do with the anti-sex beds at the Olympics. So what they did was...
Oh, the
cardboard ones. But they said that it will still hold up to 300 pounds. So I guess the question is, what are they really trying to avoid here? Like hooking up with one of the, you know what I mean? One of the big ones? They're trying to avoid that? Because you get a couple of runners on it.
Well, volleyball. Well, that is ironic. It is ironic that you say that. I mean, think about some of the weightlifting chicks that are pushing that, you know?
Right, but they like little guys anyway. So there's still room to get inside that weight limit.
You said inside. That's funny that you say that. And the thing is, too, though, there are some sports that they call it a slump buster. Like if you're not doing well or anything, the deal is to go. I mean, look, and this is probably not acceptable now. So I'm just talking about what happened historically. Was they would talk about go have a slump buster, and that was go out with a person of the opposite sex that was much bigger than you. And I'll just use it. I'll shorten up here. Right. Fat chicks. That was in baseball, it was called slump buster. So they're taking that away at the Olympics.
And that's wrong. Isn't it?
Somebody might need a slump buster.
Some sort of discrimination.
Yeah. They're discriminating. That's right.
So, anyway.
Yeah, so.
All right, carry on. I'll just sit here.
Those are very good questions. Good questions. Well, what you did, your last question does kind of pertain to my first thing, though, to our first thing, not just mine, but because you're going to participate here. But you don't remember over here, you see this Laugh Olympics thing here?
No.
You don't remember?
Well, yeah. Now I do, yeah.
Like Saturday mornings? Yeah, so they had the three teams. They had the Scooby Doobies, and they had the Yogi Yahooies, and the Really Rottens. Yeah, that cough goes. And the Really Rottens. And so they did like Olympic Games every week, and then whoever won the most points won. And for the longest time, the Really Rottens they cheated, but they were the bad people, but they never won in the end. And then like later on, late seasons, they started winning because it wasn't fair. Everybody had to have their fair share of medals. So, but that was called the Laugh Olympics. It was just Hanna-Barbera characters that they just put into one show. I mean, it's like taking the leftovers, from the steaks you didn't cook the previous night at a restaurant and making ground beef out of it and sell them as the night special. Well, that's what Hanna-Barbera for Saturdays. So made me think of that. But we're talking instead of Laugh Olympics, we're talking the Woke-O-Lympics. And our first item was the trigger warning of the week, right? Now, you know what that is? Have you been watching any?
Zero
know
Olympics.
Who that is?
I'm almost like a spectator to the show. We're talking about the Olympics. I'm like what our audience would think is like.
So. Well, here's the headline.
I'm
the
actually
story.
watching it as opposed to the audience. Okay.
Well, here's the headline. Here's the headline to it all. The headline of this article is New Zealand weightlifter Laurel Hubbard crashes out of the Olympics. Now, you say, well, that's okay. Well, people crash out of the Olympics or whatever. Now, a little backstory here. Laurel Hubbard is a dude. Okay.
What is it? What do you mean?
Laurel Hubbard's a dude.
What do you mean by crashes out?
Oh, no, that's what the headline said. So Laurel didn't advance to the medal round. Okay. Now, how? So you said crashes. How did she crash? She crashed out of the Olympics. She crashed out of the Olympics, and here's why. And this is a quote I took directly from the article itself. This is a written quote.
43-year-old.
The 43-year-old who transitioned in 2012 was competing in the 87K kilogram plus category, which, by the way, that's 192 pounds plus. So that's your target for your cardboard box category, but failed to record a single valid snatch lift in Tokyo. Now, you would think that if Laurel was now transitioned since 2012 as a female, that the snatch would be no problem. Snatch would be no problem. You would think that Laurel, though, if not transition, if Laurel still has twig and berries, then Laurel should do well at the clean and jerk.
So what? She lost. She lost to other women.
So she couldn't. In a way, and it's sickening that I'm saying she too. It's really dude, but yeah, Shim couldn't make a clean lift during the snatch round, and so didn't move on to the medal round. So we saw it a few episodes ago. I brought this up about this person, and that's really. I mean, if you saw it, you'd be like, "That's a dude." I mean, but nope, they just felt Laurel identifies as a female, so Laurel gets to lift weights in the female category. Yeah. Couldn't even get out of the first round. And lost because couldn't do the snatch lift. I mean, to me that tells everything. At that point, all the people at the Olympic Committee that said, "Yeah, let's let him in," should be going, "Okay, we're not doing that. If you can't do the snatch lift and you claim to be female, then you're not in."
And who didn't make
that? To me, should be the litmus test.
43 years old. Insane. Yeah. Who didn't make the team because of that?
That's it. So somebody didn't make the team because of this person. Yeah, but I don't know, and people ask me where I find this stuff. It's not hard. No, it's not difficult. It's not difficult to find these things. This is from the Daily Mail in UK. It's not from some blog post. This is like from a reputable online publication. But who's in the editing room that doesn't catch that and say, "Hey, look here, Roy.
You might want to change the name.
Maybe we should use a different term." But I found it.
Oh my God, that's good.
So here's word or phrase of the week. You've had to have seen this stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I know the premise of this one.
Okay, so the word or phrase, we could use brave or courageous, brave and courageous, or combination thereof, right? So the new definition for that, apparently, the new definition for brave and courageous is It's mainstream media's chosen words that describe a world-class athlete who suddenly feels uncomfortable with their work and ceremoniously quits mid-competition. Because this Simone Biles, who, by the way, Simone Biles, probably the best, if not one of the best gymnasts of all time. Hands down, proven it over year after year after year. So that's not the question. But the question is, when you quit after you have a disappointing run on one of the events, you quit the team competition, and the media says how brave and courageous it is. How is that brave and courageous? Isn't that the opposite of brave and courageous? You're not going to weigh in on this one?
No, I mean, I think that there could have been other words that they can use to describe what she did. If she's going to do it, she's going to do it. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But there's definitely other words.
Fine, but it's not brave. It's not brave and courageous.
Yeah, I think there's other words definitely. I think it's. I mean, you know, you can respect it. You can whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not even paying attention to these things, but I think that the media loves this stuff. They just want to. They don't care what words they use. Why do they care what words they use? There's no backdrop. There's no.
But how is like
nobody's gonna come out and say what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
And when they do, like I did, people are like, you don't know what it's like to be a world class. No, I don't. That's why I take my hat off to her for her skill set and everything else. But don't say that she's brave and courageous because she quit an event and let her team down. Or took the spot of somebody else that could have been in that spot when she has a disappointing run. Because what we're looking at here, this is a everyone gets a trophy kind of thing. You can't lose. You never lose, right? And so sometimes you have to be disappointed to get better at something.
Take the Olympics out of it. Take the sport out of it. If you said,
yep,
you know, somebody's delivering a speech or somebody's delivering a presentation, you know, in a corporate boardroom. Like, was it, all right, let me give you an example. Shush. When Tom Hanks left the boardroom when they were talking about the video game, because he was like, he wanted to go over to whatever park to go see the Zoltar, because he knew that then he could go back and not.
The movie
was
big.
that brave and courageous what he did?
Yeah.
Was he brave and courageous for leaving the boardroom when all of a sudden they're all looking around like, wait a minute, we really like the video game?
No. But maybe it's the right thing. Maybe he was doing the right thing for him. Maybe, absolutely. But that didn't make it brave or courageous.
Right. Like the guy, they just had to be like, yeah, we understand. We respect the fact that he wants to go back to be a 13-year-old kid again. We respect that.
I mean, yeah, and that's fine. And that's like I respect. Like if she said, and by the way, she used the word. She says, it was wasn't mentally ready or mental. I need to focus on my mental. She was mentally injured. By the way, everybody first thought, oh, she's hurt. She's physically hurt. No, it's mental, and that's not hurt. That's not injured. But then people were like, when that came out, they were like, well, mental illness is an injury. Okay. But didn't she know that before the event? Like, when she was getting ready, she knew that she wasn't mentally ill. At that point, she might have said, hey, you know what? I'm a no-go today. Instead of me quitting mid-competition, Sally, why don't you come in here and step in?
It could have been done differently. But she could have also done it differently, and the media just jumped on it as well. You know what I mean? Like, she might have just been like she might have tried to do it on the slide.
I don't put it on her. I don't put it on her as much as I do the media. That's why I was pointing at the media. But people accepting the fact that that's a correct definition of brave and courageous drives me absolutely.
They use that word all over, like,
because it's not.
Kamala Harris is brave and courageous because she's
right
because of who she like. Nothing brave and courageous about that. She got put into a position, and she wasn't elected. No. She's not an elected official, by the way. She was a chosen.
She may have done she may have done some brave and courageous stuff. Like if she pulled somebody out of a fire, or their car was on fire, went and like pulled them out, didn't know, whatever, pulled them out before the car blew up. That's brave and courageous.
Yeah. Like typically,
and then at the same time, sports does this.
You would use that word to describe, some life-threatening situation, or not. You just wouldn't use the word that way. Yeah.
Right. That was the beef. That was the word or phrase of the week, because everybody's like the media was given like a talking points and say, hey, see how many times you can use brave or courageous in the.
Wow. So they do that to communicate those things in advance? I wasn't aware of that one.
Which is, we're the complete opposite. We don't communicate with each other before the show. I just throw stuff up there and you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. That's a pet peeve of mine, the brave and courageous thing. For fuck's sake.
What? Yeah. Oh, you're framing.
That's a big... I see you calling me right now. You're calling me right now.
I just want to check, see if you're being around.
So some Olympian names. Now this one I saw, I was like, no way. No way. This was a gymnast, Chinese gymnast. And his name...
Dong Dong.
His name, as you may be able to see, is Dong Dong.
Why is his name officially capitalized? Or was that like, oh, this is old? They couldn't just write Dong Dong. They're like, listen, we gotta change this up somehow. Like, does he have a middle initial?
Well, that helps with that helps with the pronunciation. Dong Dong. Dong Dong. But they interviewed him after through a translator, and this is like his third Olympics, and they're like, "What are you going to do now?" And you're going to go back and serve as a gym coach. He says, "No, I think I'm going to get into adult movies." Good idea.
What's his name going to be?
Just the Donger, Long Duck Dong. There were some other ones I saw. I didn't capture them though. I don't know, but I was going to ask you what funny names did you see, but you're going to be like, I haven't looked at any of it.
It could have been Ding Dong. That might have been funny too.
What if they I think they have a female gymnast named Ho Ho.
Long Dong.
They're all named after little Debbie's. Ding Dong, Ho Ho, Twinkie. Think about the names of that. Ho Ho, Ding Dong, Twinkie. What were some other ones? Swiss Rolls.
Yeah, Suzy Q.
That sounds Olympian.
I had a friend that used to bring a Suzy Q to lunch every day. Like, oh. Anyway.
Oh, we were like, oh.
Another Suzy Q.
This has absolutely nothing to do with the Olympics, but I was thinking the other day, I don't know what brought this up, but I was thinking of some pickup lines. I know what brought it up. I know exactly what brought it up. My youngest brother, when my birthday was last week. Did you know I had a birthday last week? Yeah. Because I don't celebrate that long. But he sent me a text and said, "Happy."
You went somewhere. You went somewhere
Where I go
related
for my
to your birthday. You went somewhere.
Oh, we went downtown. You guys were gone. You guys were in Vegas or something. We went downtown to Raleigh and whatnot. No, we went to downtown Wake Forest. Hit a couple of bars, pubs, whatnot.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
Fine.
Anyway, just checking.
But my youngest brother sent me a text that morning, and he goes, "Happy 52 pickup birthday." Turned 52, so he's 52 pickup. That'd be cute. And I thought, and I know it's the card game where you throw down the cards and you have to pick it up, blah blah blah. But I thought pickup lines. And I was thinking about all the great pickup lines. I don't know how great they were. I mean, I thought they were great, but apparently they weren't or aren't. But I picked out my top 5 of them. I started writing all of them down, like bar pickup lines. And these are, I don't know if these are top 5, like 5-1, but they're the top 5. And you can then you can expound upon them if you think they're worthy of keeping. Here's one. You must be French because I fell for you.
I fell for you.
I fell for you.
That's pretty good.
If you, a couple of these are geographic in nature. And me with my geography and understanding that, it's helpful. Here's one. I'll bet you're from Nashville because you're the only 10 I see.
Nashville, you're the only 10 I see. I don't get it.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. 10 I see. Tennessee. I got it now. Okay. I mean, obviously, none of these have been used for me, so I'm gonna stumble a little bit.
I think part of it's going to be the delivery.
Yeah.
So watch my delivery.
Okay.
I'm no photographer, but I can definitely picture us together.
That's good. I get the picture thing. Yeah, that's good.
You're so nervous that Donna's going to walk out there right now.
She's probably heard. Did you give them to Chris? Have you ever?
Well, this one applies to me. Have you ever used it before? Because of this.
Stop it.
Have I?
Typical Zoom call.
Did your family invent the airplane? How about this? Did your family invent the airplane? Because you're so right to me.
God. That's just not good.
See, the dogs don't like it. And the fifth one, which I use this one regularly, but the trouble is sometimes the person I use it with is male, but it fits to any bartender or server, male or female. And that is, you can check me out. You've been doing it all night. When you're ready for the bill.
Now, why did you have to throw in the thing there that you use this on men?
Well, because people, I was heading it off at the pass. I was taking your knees out from you because you'd say, well, you probably
is this at your manhole bar or something like that? Is that what you use at the manhole? I know you've been checking me out all night. I
have speaking of which,
no, I do actually own this bar.
I have, let's call it. Let's call them. Let's call them Hashley and Rot Haddock. The Haddock family. That let's just say hypothetically that they lived up the street from you before. Okay. And they were in the city of Savannah a couple weeks ago, doing a little vacation, city of Savannah. And Rot texted me and said, "Hey, I know you went to school down this way. I know you're very familiar with the city of Savannah. Any places we should go?" I said, and I gave him some like legit stuff. Go to the bench where Forrest Gump sat, and the River Street, and go through the squares and a lot of the historic stuff. And I said, but I'll tell you what, whatever you do, make time to go to Fred's bar. Just go to Fred's bar. It's been there forever. A great family place and everything else. He goes to Fred's bar with his wife and kids and texts me immediately. He goes, "You son of a bitches." Fred's bar is a big gay bar in Savannah. Not a place for.
Wait, what's her name again? Ashley. He was Ashley because he's like, I can't get Ashley out of here. Or the kids.
That was the place at one time. This was way back when. I think I was still in college. We were down there, and we were. It was St. Patrick's Day. So they had the big party bash on River Street in Savannah. So St. Patrick's Day is huge in Savannah. And we're walking back to the car, and I have to pee real bad. And I'm like, God, I gotta go. And I hear this. There's this this place. It's playing music. You can hear it outside.
Was it
a bar? And it was like electro tech music, and I was like, oh, okay.
Can you not make
and so I go in the bar, and I'm walking through the.
Can you not make that sound again?
What's that? Yeah. Oh, the sound. And so I'm walking back there. I get about halfway back from the door back to the restroom, and all of a sudden I realize that there's no chicks in here. It's all dudes, which is fine, and everything else. But they all, I mean, like stereotyping, they all had receding. They all have receding hairlines, good skin, and facial hair, right? And I just about halfway I stop, and I realized that I was in a bar that probably wasn't for me, okay? And so I did a 180 and walk back outside, and I go outside, and everybody's like, "Would you?" I said, "No, let's just go." And there were no windows on the place, and they had the rainbow flag on it and everything else. And it used to be called it's Fred's Bar now, but it used to be called It's My Nasty. So if I'd seen the sign, It's My Nasty, I probably wouldn't have gone in there. But that's where Fred's Bar is now in Savannah. So I thought I'd send the Haddock family there, which probably wasn't
Fish family.
Yeah. So you don't have anything to add here?
Yeah, I think the comments I've made have spoken loudly.
Also, we got a couple of awkward endings here. So we're back to Laurel Hubbard. Here's one meme of the week. Tokyo Olympics 2021 transgender weightlifter Laurel Hubbard's message after that. This sucks. I worked my balls off.
That's good. She's still got boobs.
Keeps on giving.
That's good. Moobs.
Moobs.
Are they still moobs? If you're a wait, what is she?
Well, let's go back. Remember one of our episodes we talked about the definition. Transgender does not mean they have they've taken the packages away or changed any of that. It just means that they identify as that. Now they may take some, I guess in this case, estrogen or something. I guess, but they're not doing anything
in powder form
physically to the organs to change things.
Okay.
It's important that we understand these definitions because of that.
I'm learning.
A transsexual will be somebody. Transsexual will be somebody as if Laurel had chopped off the twig and berries and tucked it under and did all that plumbing changes. That would be a transsexual.
If I could only go back to public school and learn all these things all over again.
Well, you learn out of kindergarten, forced down your throat. But then they keep adding stuff to it, as we saw in that episode. Hey, but you know what? You got an added bonus awkward ending meme of the week.
Oh, my.
Timing.
Okay.
Timing is perfect.
Oh,
Timing is perfect for this one. We got Governor Cuomo, right? When it comes to words. So words matter, right? We talk about words mattering. So he says, no way. No to aid. Remember we sent the Red Cross ships and everything else. I don't need that. Don't need your aid. But to this aid? Yes.
Where's the Me Too movement? Are they gone? Did they dissolve? Did they like keep their stuff and go home?
I wish I had it right here in front of me, but there was a thing today that the Me Too movement actually participated in his statement that he gave yesterday, that they got involved in helping him write that apology statement.
What a joke. We're so stupid. There's enough stupid people that.
What did we do before memes? I mean, before memes, though, did somebody go to a newspaper article and take pictures, cut them out, and then paste them? Or did they just describe it and we have to go, okay, I picture that?
It's way better now. There's definitely an upgrade if that was the way that it used to be done. I like it now.
That's probably the reason why the internet was built.
I mean, if Al Gore knew all
that's the last. Yeah. Well, you mean like the science is proven as it relates to global warming? Yeah, I love how they said the same people that say when it comes to global warming, they always say the science is proven on this, and there's no even arguing it. Now I'll tell you when we, not just we, but anybody questions the coronavirus science, they say, well, science is an ever-evolving thing. You never know for sure 100% what it is. But with the global warming, science is proven. Nope. When in fact, it's not. And I would argue that neither one is. Neither one is. That'd be my argument. Now, that's the last thing I have. Of course, that brings us to the end. But I do have one question that has not been answered in 8 months now.
What is it?
That I think needs to be answered. Where is Pelosi's laptop?
I keep asking you that. Nobody's found it, right?
That's like asking the question, where's Nicole's killer? Is anybody going to search for Pelosi's laptop?
Well, somebody has it, right? They have to have it.
Do they?
They have to have it. Wait, do they have to?
Well, like I said, is it like saying we're searching for Nicole's killer? But we know the answer to that question, right?
I know, but they don't bring it up. It's not like anybody's like, they need to find this laptop.
Because they know where it is.
Do you know where it is?
I imagine that either Pelosi has it or one of her arch enemies in Congress has it, and they're using it as leverage.
I mean, you don't see much of her anymore. So when are they going to use it?
Thinking maybe AOC has it?
You think AOC has it?
Somebody like that has it because you're not hearing much from Pelosi anymore right now, right?
They went in there like, you keep your mouth shut, old lady. Or we'll show these pictures.
That should be That should be a show to talk about the possibilities of Pelosi's laptop and what's on it. I think that could be pretty funny.
Yeah. Top 10 things found on Nancy Pelosi's laptop.
Let's do the top 10 Google searches.
I mean, there's definitely pictures of her and Schumer.
Yeah.
Missionary.
I wonder if that's been done. I wonder if that one's already been done. But I think that's it. I think that's a show. I think we got something there.
Okay, bye.
All right, you got anything before we shut down the?
No. Well done. Well done. I wish the best for Lauren and her balls, and I just when do the Olympics even end? Because I'm tired of telling people that I don't watch the Olympics. So when they're actually over, I'm saying
probably this weekend. It's usually 2 weeks, so they started last weekend or so, 23rd, 24th, something like that. Right, so I imagine this weekend.
That way I don't have to say anything. You watching the Olympics? Oh shoot, I missed them. What? They were only for 2 weeks? I thought they were 3 weeks. I was just going to catch them.
Well, the ratings are at an all-time low. I mean, part of that could be because they're in Japan at 13 hours ahead. But you can watch it like I can right now. You can watch golf. They're playing there in the morning. Not quite yet, but they'll be
things like
golf. Golf, but
baseball. Like,
yeah, right.
Why you gonna watch that?
All right. Well, if nothing else, that wraps out That's a Show. We'll see you next time on That's a Show. Check us out on our YouTube channel. Just search Now That's a Show. You can catch up on all episodes. You can binge watch. I
probably should do that. I haven't watched.
Remember. And you should check out the pilot episode, Jay. You should watch that with your wife.
I should watch that one again. Good idea. Okay, bye.
All right. Till next time.